Whether it be being out in the community or going to their cousin's house who live in the rougher neighborhood. You know, there can be the presence of that peer pressure, but we got to make sure that we balancing it out. So lyrics that are suggested towards drug use is ridiculous right now.
Join us every Sunday evening at 7 p.m. for Conflict Resolution with Daryl White, only on BeExposedRadio.com.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ball-in street? Girl-in street!
It's hard to concentrate on two things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at StopTextStopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
The Artist Exchange Radio Show every Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., every Saturday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Real artist, real talk, real live on BeExposedRadio.com. I was meeting with a friend yesterday, and I've gotten to the point where don't ask me a question because the truth is going to come out.
Exactly.
Just don't do it.
If you ain't looking for the truth, don't come to me.
Don't do it because I can't hold my tongue. And she wants to be this stylist, boutique, but you're not doing anything in that nature, and I can't take you seriously if you're not doing those things. And I understood why people didn't take me seriously because I found myself in somebody else's lane. I was good at what I was doing and what I wanted to be, but I wasn't doing it for me. So how can I ask you to take me seriously if I'm living in somebody else's shoes?
And nobody can do what you do, and I think that that's a big problem that people face now. Like, you see what somebody else is doing.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
All right, I got it back. Okay, so welcome back to the Black Bottom Man Radio Show. I'm your host, Brother Mike, along with my co-host, the lovely Miss Janice. Today we are talking ways to save money in 2019. So we just went over saving automatic, right?
Yes.
That's a pretty good one because that's a tool that can be offered by your financial institution that's easy for you to access. I think the toughest part would probably be trying to stay away from the money.
I like all the way so far has been good.
Okay. Yeah, so, but leaving it there is the task.
Yes.
You know, we can easily set up the direct deposit into the savings, but leaving it there is, but you know, I think, don't quote me, but I think you might be able to like have the banks make it so your debit card won't access your savings account. I think they can do that. Okay. You know what I mean? So that would be something to consider. Make it so you can't even get to your savings from your debit card. Make it so you got to go into the bank to get it.
And then isn't it always accounts where you have to have a minimum of at least a certain amount of money in your account?
Savings is only usually about $5.
So
check-ins would be around 50.
Well, what's when you have to have like a minimum of 2,500?
Those are business accounts.
Okay. So.
Yeah, those are business accounts. That's why I don't have any. All right, number 5. Aim for short-term savings goals. Make a goal such as setting aside $20 a week or a month rather than a long-term savings goal. People save more successfully when they keep short-term goals in sight. So I want to talk about that $20 because that $20 comes up all the time. And $20 is such a minimal amount of money. But man, them 20s add up.
Top on side. Now, even with them, you know, when you're speaking of putting an emergency fund to the side and, you know, automatically or putting money in envelopes. Now, is this speaking to the average person who have like bills every month?
Absolutely. I think that's who this was designed for.
Because, yeah, them 20s gonna make a difference.
$20 bucks is not a lot to put away, but it can make a really big difference, especially if you can do it every week. So that's at least 80 to 100 bucks a month.
But that's what makes people get a little unencouraged with saving when you only can put 20 to the side. You know, it's not.
Right, I can see that.
It's not getting high enough, fast enough.
It's realistic though.
So.
You'll keep it more. So that's what I was saying. If you go into it trying to dump a lot of money, you're gonna dig into that because you need that money. But that 20 bucks, you're more likely to forget about that 20 than you are 100. If you put up, you ain't gonna forget about that. You gonna know you got that $100. Like, you know, I still got $100 in my safe, right? But 20 bucks, you liable to be like, you know what? I forgot I even put that 20 in there.
Right. So I guess if you throw the 20 and then don't even count it or keep track of how much you're putting there, it may be better.
I think it's a realistic goal. My son just recently told me he's interested in getting a pair of Jordans. He's only had one pair in his life. Years old. To buy these Jordans without it costing you your money. I said you get tips. Take your tips, put away 20 bucks a week or whatever. By the time spring gets here, you have your money for your Jordans. Never came out of your paycheck. Someone else bought them for you. It's tip money.
Which makes sense.
Which makes sense. And even if it's not tip money, even if you just say I'm gonna take 5, 10 bucks or 20 bucks out of my check because I have a particular item I want to get in the future. Because he knows how I feel about us as a people, standing in line, you know what I mean, to get Jordans, so forth and so on. Now, I have pairs of Air Jordans, but you know, as a grown man, I bought them when I could afford them, right? So for him to come to Dad and say, Dad, I want to get yeah, everybody. As soon as he said, Dad, I want to get some Jordans, I said, hold on, let me turn the TV off real quick. Come again? What was you talking about? So, you know, I just wanted to tell him the best way that I think you should go about getting them. You know, just use your tip money. Take your time. You know, you don't need them until springtime, summer. That's when you want to break out with them and, you know, try to look fly. So put your tip away and, you know, then maybe you can get them and feel no guilt. Still on, Nate? Or you need to change them?
So, yeah, I'm still.
Yeah, so, you know, bucks, you know, until you reach your goal. Now, let me put out a disclaimer here. I can talk this stuff way better than I can do it. I can tell y'all what to do all day. I go home and be broke. But I'm just real.
Now, I'll be honest. I can really save money. I don't have a problem with saving money.
That's good. That is real, especially for women. Men usually do better at saving money than women.
Do they?
It was designed that way. You know, like I used to work in retail for years, selling clothes and stuff. All of men's clothing is more expensive and women's clothing is cheaper. And the reason for that is because they can sell a woman a pair of shoes for 25, 35, 45 bucks, right? Because they know she's going to come back next week, week after next, get the other color, get another pair, so forth and so on. So they make it cheaper because you guys are frequent shoppers. Men, they sell our shoes 150, 200 bucks because they know when that man buy them shoes, oh, he not coming back in this store for 7 years. Be 7 years later, he like, I still got my shoes, they still good, you know, so they know we don't spend as much when it comes to fashion. What they get us on is other stuff. See, a man will come back and trade that car in 2 years. No. You get what I mean?
Yes. I mean, I know women do spend a lot of money, but I know, like, you know, some of them are really good at saving.
Oh, yeah, there are women who learn the game. I'm just, you know, saying in general. Yeah. You know, a general consensus, women are known as the spenders and men are known as the savers. You understand what I'm saying?
Because we spend money for a lot of things. We're not just spending money for ourselves.
Well, y'all do more emotional spending.
Yeah, because, you know, we spend for the house and, you know, the kids and everything. We have a lot of people we spend the money for.
Well, that's your duty.
That's why we spend more.
That's your duty.
But that's the reason we spend more money.
Could be. But we was kind of talking about personal spending. So. What you spend on yourself. You know, I tell you, black women don't like when you tell them something, do they?
I was just watching a video where somebody was saying that about a black woman. They was like, you say that and they'd just be like.
Right, give you that vibe like, whatever. Nobody trying to hear that. All right, so number 6. Number 6 is save your windfalls and tax refunds. Every time you receive a windfall, such as a work bonus, inheritance, contest winnings, or tax refund, put a portion into your savings account. Now, this probably hits home heavy with us because, you know, a lot of black people get tax returns. And historically, we have been stereotyped with not doing the right thing with the money. Mm-hmm. So that's an important one, you know what I mean, to learn to take your tax refund and instead of thinking about all the materialistic things you can buy, mm-hmm. keep some of it. Try to find out type of investment vehicle you can put some of your money into, right. You know, because the things that you can purchase, they become old at some point. So right. If you get the new TV and the new rims and all that, then by the time June roll around, you know, we might not have that type of money anymore. All you got is the TV and the rims. Mm-hmm. Windfalls. Windfalls is referring to anything that's a bonus. You know, bonus at work, right. Won some money at the casino, right? Right. Your boy finally paid you the $120 he's been owing you for 4 years. Right? Just windfalls of money. So they're saying take that money as well and put it away. You know, take a little piece of it and say, I'm going to spend this little piece and then, you know, put the rest away. I think that's sound advice, especially with the tax refunds.
It all sounds great on paper. Because
we are approaching this. Yeah, it does. It's definitely easier said than done. But we got to say it, though. You know, we got to say it because it helps. Yeah. Somebody is going to do this today. Somebody's going to listen to this. Somebody. Right. It's going to help somebody. So tax refund season is upon us. Take in consideration of doing something different with your tax money. Mm-hmm. Take it in consideration because there are a lot of people that get a nice little chunk of change at tax time.
Well, this year, you know, it might not be hard for folks because, you know, them checks probably be late anyway. So
if they even come,
yeah,
it might not even come.
You get a little help with saving that money.
I'm telling you, my son just got his tax refund from last year. Just got it like 2 weeks ago. And, you know, and I felt so bad for him because it was like his first tax refund, right? And we did it on TurboTax. I was excited for him. He gonna get his little check. And man, they gave him to run around like they wanted his Trump's taxes. You get what I'm saying? Like, and I just couldn't believe. I wanted to call the IRS up and just say, shame on y'all. Right. Man, this is my son's first tax return. And y'all keep sending out these letters talking about we got to verify his identity. He literally got that check like 2 weeks ago. And that was filed in January of 2018. Took all year to get it. So he was a little irritated about that. But I told him, I said, whenever the money comes, son, it'll be perfect timing. You know, it'll come when it's supposed to come. Right. So I can't begin to tell you the joy that was on my face when I opened the mailbox a couple weeks ago and I saw his check in there. I went in there with my normal shit. Hey, son, let me talk to you for a second. He come walking out like, oh, God. Now what, Dad? I said, you know what, son? I said, every dad wants to be able to give his son good news. You know? I said, and I got some good news for you, and I want to give it to you. I said, you're going to be very, very happy. And he's just looking at me like, what? I pulled that check out. I swear his cheeks touched his ears. That boy was so happy. I said, boy, I got your check. Said, you see that? We can feed the whole project's biscuits with this. You understand?
That had to be a good day.
It was a good day for him.
I mean, after waiting all year.
All year long. It was to a point where he completely forgot about it. Yes. He wasn't even thinking about that. He was broke. He was in between, you know, jobs. And that check came right in handy. And first thing he said is, can I use your car? I said, what, you going to cash your check? Yeah, I'm going to cash my check and go to the mall.
Absolutely.
And I said, well, okay. Well, before you go, let's talk about what you're going to keep and what you're going to spend.
Let's talk about your emergency fund.
Yeah, let's talk about your emergency fund. Let's talk about some things.
Let's talk about
we black parents. Your kids don't get money without us getting a piece. Like, oh, wait a minute now. Before you cash that check, let's talk about this cable bill. Let's talk about all that Xboxing you got going on in that room. Let's talk about a few things. So yeah, tax refunds is a good time to get ahead. I don't personally get a tax refund. You know, I haven't had one. I wish somebody would send me a check every year. But I would just like to stress to our people that, you know, when you get your tax return, try to just put it away for a minute. Just let your mind clear, because we get excited when we get money. It's normal. I get excited when I get money. I think about hitting the mall just like everybody else, right? But I learned that if you fall back and let that money just sit for a second, let your anxiety calm down, and then see what might be the best route for it. You know what I mean? Whereas though you get it February, come November, you can say, oh no, I still got that. I still got that, and I flipped it into a little bit more, or I put it into this, which is going to, you know, gain me something here and there. Just give some thought to just before you go out and just spend it.
Yes.
You know, like I would recommend, you know, determining what portion you're going to keep and then what portion you're going to save, because it's unrealistic to think someone's going to put their whole tax refund away.
So I'm going to say something else that I read in the book. Now, in the book, it was, you know, like a lot of times when you'd be like, I have to get more money. You'd be like, you have to get more money. And the first thing we say is like, you either have to get an extra job or work more hours. You'd be like, I'm gonna pick up another shift, work a couple more hours. But you know, when I was reading the book, you know, it was just let me know that I didn't have to do that. I can just look into my expenses and cut one or two.
Right.
And that'll give me extra money without having to overwork myself for it, which made total sense.
It does make sense. It does make sense to first evaluate what you make, because we do naturally, because of the way society has taught us, we naturally say, well, let me get a part-time job, let me take on some more hours. But I think that's very sound advice. She's basically saying, no, first sit down and figure out how much you actually are bringing in every week, every 2 weeks, every month, or whatever, and then what you actually spending it, because your raise might already be within your money.
Yes, because if you're looking at your expenses and you're paying $600 a month for food, just random eating, and $450 a month on hair, you know, if you're spending another $300 on just beauty, like makeup or anything like that, like you've already found $1,300 for a month. Wow. So if you just went back and looked in some of your expenses and cut some, you probably won't have to work an extra job or pick up extra shifts.
Nice.
You might already have that money within your budget. All you have to do is cut out a couple things.
Yeah, take a look at your financial balance sheet. You know, create your financial balance sheet, see what you actually make, what you actually kick out.
You could be out here overworking yourself for nothing. So you could be tired for nothing, people. So, yeah.
And then if you do feel you need to get more money from the outside, I would say consider examining what talents and skills that you have that you can offer other people where they'll pay you for it. Because it's not always about getting another job. Because if you think about it, if we're having money problems, right? We think the solution is just get another job. And that can be a possible solution. But the problem you're having is to get more money. A job is just one route to get more money. You might have a skill set. You know, maybe you're somebody that know how to do taxing, accounting services, right? You do friends and family taxes every year. It's time to charge them. Maybe from time to time you do a little braiding, right? It's time to charge them. You get what I mean? Maybe from time to time you play Uber for friends and coworkers and family. It's time to charge them. You know, like we're all in the struggle together. So I say, you know, also examine what talents and skills that you have that you can offer someone that they might want to pay you for it. Because that's a way of getting extra money too. And it can lead to you having your own business.
That one was the last show we did.
Right. Because all of us are talented. We're all talented. Everybody has talents. We all got something we can do that someone would pay us to do it. So I would say examine that as well. All right, so let's move to number 7. So number 7 says, save your loose change, which we just spoke about, right? Putting aside just 50 cents over a year will get you 40% of the way to a $500 emergency fund. And some banks and credit unions offer programs that round all your purchases to the nearest dollar and put that money into a separate savings account.
Now that's a great one. Right?
Yeah, I know the banks are starting to do that now. I know like Bank of America offers that, you know, where you round up. But we back to the change game. Now, for me personally, the change game is one of my favorites. because it's such a thrill to put away something it's not a lot, right?
Yeah.
But then over time, you get to the end of the year and you be looking at your change and whatever you got it in, and you thinking, there's some change up in that joint, right? And when you count that money up at the end, it's just a pleasant surprise. You didn't even know you had $286 in your bedroom, right?
See, that's an easy one. That's one we all can do.
Yes.
Save that change.
We all can save change. They said put aside 50 cents.
So.
Put aside 50 cents.
Because before, like, when I used to, like, of course, see, after I read these books, after I read them books, everything changed.
Right.
Because before, when I used to get change, I used to, like, put it in the tip jar, you know, along with the dollars in the change. Now I'll put the dollars there, but I keep the change. So now my change goes into the bank.
Okay.
So now I don't give away the change part, because I make sure I put that in the bank.
Nice.
So it's all types of ways to save. You just have to use them.
Right. The change comes in handy. You can get a lot of it out of your car. We keep a lot of change in our car.
You know, you get change every day.
You get change every day. I try to if I'm using cash. You know, I don't use cash every day. I wish I did. Just ain't got it, right? But yeah, you know, I always keep that change. Put it in. I have a particular jewelry box on my dresser. I don't put no jewelry in it. It's just all change that goes in there. Yeah. End of the year, that box is heavy. Yeah. And I know it's several hundreds of dollars in there.
And that change adds up.
The change adds up, and I love having the silver over the pennies. The pennies is nice, but I want my change to be dominantly silver because that's what adds up. Because the pennies, like, they do add up, but boy, you're going to need a lot of them.
What is it, a million pennies for 10 grand?
Something like that.
Yeah, you need like
you need a lot of them. You're going to need a barn full of pennies. But again, just have them in with the change. You know, so like I purposely will get change. Sometimes, back in the day when I used to have to do laundry outside of my home, you know how you go and you get the quarters for laundry.
Right.
I would get an extra pack, right? So give me $20 worth of quarters. And then I would crack the 10 that I didn't need and dump it into my change thing. Okay. So I know it's at least $10 in there right now. Now the problem with the change is you got to keep your kids out of it. Because when the kids know where that change is at, they will come raid it.
Gosh.
They will come raid it. They will come get it. My son hit me up, Dad, I took $3 out your change box, right? Now, I'm in the bedroom. I'm just like, all right, son, you good. But in the bedroom, I'm like, he needs to stay out of my box. That's what he needs to do. He needs to stay out of my box. Stay out of my change, man. They've been collecting all year, right? Oh. So I eventually turned him on to it. He got a little small one, but, you know, it ain't nowhere near what mine was, right?
Yeah, like somebody just gave me like a couple empty banks. And I think like one of them is already full. I'm working on that next one that they gave me. So the banks are a little easier.
I want to add another recommendation then. I recommend having a safe. You know what I mean? Like, I recommend having a safe in your home, you know, whether it's in your bedroom, in the wall, under the basement floors, or I just recommend having a safe, you know, because not only just for safety reasons, but also for fire reasons. Right. Because, you know, your place catch on fire, you need to know that certain documents, birth certificates, deeds to the house, titles to your car, spare emergency fund money. You need to know that that is locked up in something that is going to be fire retardant. You know what I mean? So that way you can get everything back from the insurance company, from your renter's insurance or your homeowner's, you know, insurance, and you know your safe is okay. Firefighters will pull it out. They'll say your safe's good. Crack that sucker open, you like, whoo, all my good stuff. Still good to go. And you can get them anywhere today. You can get them at Walmart and places like that. They're not very expensive to get a decent safe. You know, Century is the ones that are fairly affordable, and you can get them at Walmart. I recommend the combination safe, not the key safe. People can get a hold of keys. People can duplicate keys, but they can't get a hold of what's in your mind, right? So that's what I would recommend. Okay, well, we are up on another commercial break, so stay with us. It's the Black by Demand Radio Show. We are talking ways to help you save money in 2019. We shall be back. Stay with us.
Join the club that gives you stuff.
Hey, thanks!
Radio Loyalty.
Here's how it works.
Just click on the Radio Loyalty banner right now and sign up. Then, you keep on listening like you already do. But now you earn points. Those points add up, and you can trade them in for stuff in the Radio Loyalty store. Earn more points by sharing your station with friends on Facebook and Twitter, answering surveys, and by using the apps in the New Players App Store. Pretty simple, right?
Radio Loyalty.
Click that banner to join now.
You're now listening to BeExposedRadio.com. Check out this fire flashback.
We need to relearn what it is to be these bosses and how we conduct ourselves as business-minded individuals and just people in general. I let my gut, and if I call it gut or God or whatever, I'm led by that energy. I know where it comes from. I know where it's, taking me, and you have to figure out what is important to you, and don't play this game. It's a game that we've learned to play, this chess game, and life is not a chess game. Life is real, bones, flesh, blood, decisions.
Make sure you check out the Artist Exchange Show every Monday and Friday at 2 p.m. only on BeExposedRadio.com.
Hi, I'm LeVar Burton, and I'm proud to be a book person. How do I choose a book? Sometimes it's the cover, sometimes it's the title. I guess I'm pretty visual. If a book's really impressing me and the writing is really good, I will peek and see what the last paragraph is, because the endings of books should rock you. I am a book person, and if you're a book person too, read to a child and spark a lifetime of ambition. Join me at bookpeopleunite.org, because reading is fundamental. A public service announcement brought to you by Reading is Fundamental, Library of Congress, and the Ad Council.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ballin Street? Girl in Street!
It's hard to concentrate on two things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Join the Just a Bit Outside crew every Monday, 8 to 10 p.m. on BeExposedRadio.com.
You want to start off?
I think I'll get it out of the way on a who's not.
Okay, do it.
The Orioles.
Right.
They got swept by the Royals. They lost 4 in a row, and the last 5 games have all been decided by 1 run. The game before, or the last game that they lost before the Royals was the Nationals, and it was Weeders, of course, won with a home run.
Hit the home run.
Right.
They were going into that National series. It seemed like they were doing so well, and they just crapped out. They got that game postponed, so who knows when they're going to replay that or play that game. That's my first not for the night.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and weigh in on my who's not, and I'm going to talk about...
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We are finishing up with ways to save money in 2019 today here on the Black by Demand Radio Show on MLK Day. I know a lot of you guys are off today. I hope everybody has a good day and enjoy their day. And if you're watching the BBD radio show, you're already starting off on the right track. So thanks for hanging in there with us. So we are up to number 8. Okay, so number 8 says, use the 24-hour rule. Okay. The rule helps avoid purchasing expensive or unnecessary items on impulse. Think over each non-essential purchase for at least 24 hours. Nice. This is particularly easy to do while shopping online because you can add items to your cart or wish list and come back to them a day later. So this is great. So this is what I was saying earlier, with the tax refunds. Like if you just kind of fall back for a minute, they say 24 hours. Cool. I would recommend a few days, but just to let the anxiety die down a little bit, your excitement, right?
Yes.
And then really see what you want to do with your money.
Yeah, I love the 24-hour.
Because remember, we did shows on teaching that, and again, it's easier said than done. I'm aware of that. But, you know, the goal with money is to try to limit dumping money into things that don't bring you back money. You know, limit buying liabilities and try to buy assets. So asset is anything that adds to your income. A liability is anything that takes away. So every time we buy, you know, senseless items, it takes away from our money. You know, so we want to consider putting money into things that's going to make us more money. You know, you got to become an investor with your personal money. And again, easier said than done, I know, but, you know, still needs to be done.
That 24-hour rule is not actually
excuse me.
That's actually...
Yeah, 24 hours is not that bad.
That's a great one. It's actually great.
That'll give you time to think a little bit, you know, calm down.
It's only one day.
Now, I'll tell you something that they don't have on this list, right? Don't tell people you have money.
Oh, okay.
When you tell people you have money, they come for it.
Sometimes,
especially family and friends.
I don't know. Some people just have a way of sniffing it out.
Well, there you go. That's what I'm saying. They're going to find out on their own, you know. Now, you know, back in my day, they called it counting your money. You know, you would hear the old folks say, she ain't going to be counting my money. You understand what I mean? And that's what they mean, you know, because they know that you got the money. The next thing you know, they trying to designate it. You know, well, I was thinking, I told Lil Sean to come ask you for the $300 because I know you just got your tax return and you looking like, I be sending people to come get my money. You know what I'm saying? But you know, family and friends, they'll do that. You know, and it's natural to be excited when you come into money, you know what I mean? And you want to share that news. But it has proven to be detrimental. They know you got it, they coming for it. You just became the emergency fund.
Well, a lot of times, you really don't have to worry about that happening when you say don't tell people you have money. Yeah, people keep that a secret.
Do you think so?
Even if somebody owe you money and they came into money, they are not telling you.
See, I think people talk about their tax returns and stuff. That's how other people find out about them. Like, yeah, I just got my tax return. I'm straight.
I think people
don't know they over there plotting.
Over the years, they learned to be quiet.
Next thing you know, your grandmama calling you up about your uncle. Hey, baby, this is grandmama. Your Uncle Charlie, I know you love him, and he sure want to get out of that detention center. He only need $300.
You so crazy.
He's still family at the end of the day. Make you feel real guilty. But grandma, I just kind of got, I know, baby, I know, and he grown man, but we family, we got to look out for each other. You like, man, this is... Go get Uncle Charlie out of jail, and he get out of jail talking shit. You know, man, you owe me $3. I don't owe you nothing, nigga. I ain't tell you get me out. Like, okay. You better talk to your grandmother. That's what happens, though.
When she called, just let her know you're going to have to think about it for 24 hours.
Right. Grandma, I love you. But them your kids.
24-hour rule on this one, Grandma.
Yeah, right. I need 24 hours to think about this, Grandma. All right, so I'm going to have to hit you back.
This is going to be going into my emergency fund, and I'm not sure that this declare emergency, so I'm going to have to check this out.
It's an emergency, but it ain't yours.
Right.
That's Uncle Charlie emergency. All right, number 9 is drink water. Drink water to save money. Let's see what this is. Every nutritionist seems to agree that the calories in the form of soda or juice is terrible ideal for your waistlines. And apparently, diet options aren't that much better. Rather than spend money on your beverages, why not develop a taste for water? Okay, I see where they're going. If you're used to sweet drinks, you can wean yourself off the stuff by mixing. Okay, so the first part is I want to thank them for acknowledging that people are addicted to sugar. You know what I mean? So if you take people who drink soda and juices every day, they just ain't going to switch to water. So I kind of like that they're saying wean yourself off by kind of mixing it, start diluting it so you get your taste buds, your palate ready to just take it in water.
Makes sense.
Yeah, that does make sense because we do spend a lot of money, you know, especially as Americans, on sodas and juices, you know, things like that. So I could see that would save you some money.
Absolutely.
I could see that would save some money. So drinking water can save you money.
Just think, $3 every day on that beverage for the week. It's $21. That's that $20.
That's that $20, right? Easy. And then sodas are expensive today. See, I don't drink soda at all, but I know that they're expensive. I know we not in like back in the day where you could get the 2 liters for 99 cents. It ain't like that no more, huh?
No.
You can't even get a 20 ounce for 99 cents, huh? They getting us.
So,
straight getting us.
I mean, I think they have that bottle of sugar that you can get for 99 cents.
He said a bottle of sugar, huh?
They sell those 99 cent sodas. I think they do still have a bottle of sugar that you can buy for 99 cents.
Or one of them big 3 liters.
Yeah,
remember the 3 liters? Grape and orange, and you know, like I've never in my life seen a bottle of soda so big.
I think they still have.
They still sell them
in the dollar store.
Yeah, they probably still $1, huh? You can come get this poison for $1.
You can go buy that sugar.
$1. Okay, so drinking water can help you save money because you won't be spending money on beverages, right? Drinking water also has a whole bunch of other benefits, right? Drinking water helps you lose weight. It helps to keep your joints lubricated, right? It helps to keep your organs lubricated. It flushes your kidneys, right? Keeps your blood thin. So water is like a miracle, and it's amazing that, you know, we don't focus on it so much. You know what I mean? Because they have given us so many other options with all these fruit juices, so many other options. Now it's like water, you know. I was talking to someone a couple weeks ago, and they were talking about their children. It was like, you know, I want my kids to drink more water, you know, but, you know, like they're not going to drink it. Because I always get juice and stuff like that. And I told them, I said, they will drink it. You just have to make it so there's no other options.
That's all the way. You can be like some people and just buy water.
Just buy water. That's what I do.
And then you do.
Yeah, I just buy water. There's nothing in my refrigerator but water. My son wants soda or whatever, he got to bring it home with him. I have nothing to offer. When I treat him, I'll go out and buy some apple snapples. That's his treat. I get some apple snapples. Yeah. Other than that, it's water. You know, I want him drinking water. See, I'm one of them parents, right? And I don't want to gross anybody out. But, you know, sometimes children go in the bathroom and use the bathroom and don't flush it. I go in the restroom behind my son sometimes and he hadn't flushed the toilet. I look at the color of his urine. And if it's too yellow, I go right and say something to him. Come here, son, let me show you something. See that? You're not drinking enough water. You know, because I'm that concerned about, you know, him staying healthy with his kidneys and stuff. And doctors will tell you, your urine will determine if you're hydrated or dehydrated. You know, so if it's not that pale yellow to clear, then you're not drinking enough water. So, yeah, I just feel you got to be that way. He's 22, but as long as he's under my roof, I'm going to be on you, right? I got to help out. Nate, we up on break?
Very true.
All right, 30 seconds. How we want to talk about water in the last 30 seconds. Water is everything. It is what the body needs more than anything on this planet. We can go without food, but we cannot go without water. Food, we can go several weeks. Water, we won't make it 72 hours. You got to have water. So water is very important for health as well as helping you save money. So we definitely like the water one. Save money and save your life by drinking water. But we got to take another commercial break. Stay with us. It's the Black by Demand Radio Show, and we shall be back.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets. With millions of YouTube views, shares, Instagram likes, followers, and fans across the globe. But what do all these amazing pets have in common? Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a shelter or adoptable pets near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard? Well, that's entirely up to you. Visit theshelterpetproject.org and hear more about Hamilton the Pug, Toast, and Keyboard Cat's amazing adoption stories. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Your perfect pet is just a click away.
I wanted to talk to you about something and... Oh, wait, hold on. I just got a text. Oh, there's another one. Wow. Busy me. So anyway...
Oh, wait, Mom. I just got a message. My friends keep commenting on my comment. Oh, there's another one. So many comments on my comment.
Oh, I can't wait to watch TV tonight. Playoffs!
Hey, guys, check out my new video game. Pew, pew. Wait, Mom, what?
What? Hold
What'd you say? Wait a second, what?
This weekend...
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com. You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com. You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Take a minute and listen to this flashback of the On the Come Up radio show.
But I meant you tried to slap. So you want to stick on that? But anyway, slap walk.
You taking slap walks now?
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com. You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We are still going over ways to help you save in 2019, to help you get your year started off on the right track. So we left off with drinking water and how water can help you save money when you're not buying sodas and beverages.
Some moments only the forest can inspire. Find your
as well as keeping you healthier. Nate, we still live, right?
Okay, so do you tend to spend less?
Okay.
When you're more healthier versus if you're not?
Oh, great question. Great question. My opinion is yes. Healthier people do spend less money because a lot of your money when it comes to food is spent on junk. So when you become healthier and eat healthier, they taught us it's going to cost you more because some things are more. But when it comes to, say, like fresh vegetables and fruits and stuff, they cost less than it does to buy all the processed stuff. We just don't know it. You get what I mean? We just don't know it. So yeah, I think the healthier you are, the easier it is to save money. The healthier you are in your mind and in your body changes everything.
Right, you're going to make better decisions all the way around.
Health, wealth, love, happiness. Now I know that may seem like a reverse order. A lot of people want to put love first. But it's a lot of us in love with no money and not healthy. Right? So health, wealth, love, happiness.
Okay.
That's the pecking order I would consider.
It's a good order.
You know, I would consider it. All right, so number 10 is set priorities. What you value the most is going to be where your money goes. Sit down and set your priorities for your money. I think that statement says a lot. What you value the most is where your money is going to go. That's deep.
It's really deep.
That's deep.
Like, if you really think about it, like, that's so true. Dang, so if you're wasting a lot of money, what does that mean? What do you value?
Well, let's go back to when you showed me your sheet earlier. And sitting down like it suggested and tracking your money for 1 month. Track the receipts, keep the receipts, right? Those receipts you then put in the categories. Food, car, you know what I mean, whatever. That's going to show you where your money has went. When you see that area where your money has went, that's going to show you what you value in life. Whew, I don't want to see mine. I do not want to see mine. Yeah, but think about that. It's going to show what you value because your money trail is going to say, look, you spent $296 on whatever.
That's good and bad.
That's good and bad, right?
You think about it, it's so good.
It's so good, but it's going to be like a reality check.
Right, but it's...
You're going to find out who you really are. Like, man, I didn't even know I liked Rice Krispies like that. I spent $82 on Rice Krispies. Right?
Like you said, you just never know how wasteful you are until you do the math.
Until you sit down and actually do the evaluation, right? So, that's a good one. Where your values is at is where your money's going to go.
So your money is going into a bunch of partying and party clothes.
That's what you value.
You might need to be reevaluated.
Yep. That's what you value, right?
That's serious.
Very serious. Okay, number 11. So number 11 says, embrace the 80-20 rule. You familiar with the 80-20 rule?
Not when it comes to money.
Okay, so this is it. It says the mindset you need to get into immediately with your finances as an entrepreneur in general is the 80-20 rule, right? In case you're unaware, the 80-20 rule, otherwise known as the Pareto principle, states that 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts. Once you're aware of this, you're going to see it popping up over and over again in your life. Take a look at your latest grocery receipt, for example. You're going to find that roughly 80% of the total bill comes from only 20% of the items you bought. On an even grander scale, you'll probably find that 80% of your budget goes to the same things over and over again. That's the 80-20 rule. 80% of your results comes from 20% of your effort. That is interesting. That's very interesting. With the grocery bill, 80% of the total bill comes from only 20% of the items you bought. Wow.
20%.
That actually made me quiet for a second there.
What was the other 80? It was just what?
It says, take a look at your latest grocery receipt. You're going to find that roughly 80% of the total bill comes from only 20% of the items you purchased. So if 80% of the bill is only coming from 20% of the items you purchase, they must be pretty expensive items. Do you get what I mean? That's what I'm getting from that.
Okay.
And it's going to the same things over and over again. Which probably would make sense. I'm thinking maybe meat and, you get what I mean? Meat and eggs and bread has to be in the you know, in the lineup. Right. Well, that is junk. Everything I just said was junk.
It's not fruit and vegetables.
Right. It's not fruit and vegetables. When I switched over and, you know, vegetarian lifestyle, like my refrigerator looks real different. It's a whole bunch of produce and stuff in it. You know what I mean? It's produce, it's fruits, it's vegetables, it's dates, it's seeds, it's nuts. You know, like people open up my refrigerator and be like, man, you ain't got nothing in here to eat. Because ain't nothing in there but water. And, you know, I mean, I'm just trying to get healthier, right? But that's how much we've been trained to eat the junk. When we see the fresh foods, we like, man, ain't nothing in here to eat.
Yeah, I know how that goes.
But somebody else is looking like, man, he got apples, oranges, kale, spinach, right? He's got all this stuff, almond milk, dates, seeds, nuts, grapes.
That is true when people start eating differently, because, you know, somebody just offered me some pizza with no cheese.
Pizza with no cheese.
Yeah, you can keep that.
You wasn't feeling that? That cheese is something else.
I was like, yeah, I'm not there yet.
I've been trying to get off cheese for years. It is not easy. I think I need therapy. I need a 12-step program to get off cheese. So the 80-20 rule. That's interesting. I'm still trying to like figure some things out on this. You know, the 80-20 rule.
Yeah, I wasn't familiar with that.
I wasn't familiar with that
at all. So
I wasn't familiar with that. It's called the Pareto principle. 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts. Right. Now that does make sense. Well, you know what? I have heard of it.
Okay.
But when I heard of it, it was applied to losing weight and working out. You know, like a lot of times when people want to lose weight, they think I'm gonna hit the gym, get this weight down, so forth and so on. But the gym only represents 20% of the results you're going to get. 80% of the results for losing weight comes from the food that you eat. You have to change the food you eat. So I have heard of the 80-20. I just never applied it in this manner.
Yeah, I'm going to write it down now because I'm going to look that up some more.
It seems like there's so many different directions you could go with it too. Imagine if you did that with your money, right? Imagine if we kept 20% of our money. You know, which is, you know, you can do that, you know.
Man, I thought you was going to say 80% of it.
No. You can only keep 80% if you're willing to live in the streets. Go sleep somebody else's house.
80%.
But remember when we did the show on Rich Dad, Poor Dad, that was one of the things he discussed in the book about paying yourself first. So that's a way you could do 80-20 with your money. You know, we've been programmed that when we get our paycheck, we pay all of our bills. And then what we have left is what we decide to use for ourselves. Okay, well, Robert Kiyosaki said that is completely wrong. He said, you worked for that money, you earned it. When you get that money, you take off the top what you keeping. So that could be that 20%. And then you take the 80% and say, this is what I'm going to use for all the bills, right? Because the reality is, if your check was 20% less, you still would have worked it out to pay them bills. You'd have got on the phone, made some phone calls, got some extensions, so forth and so on. So he's saying that's what you got to do. So you could really apply that with your money. Take your 20% off the top, like a manager would do, right? You're the manager of your money. It's just coming to me. I'm thinking, right? You're the manager of your money. So your manager's getting 20%. So you pay your manager right off the bat. I'm going to have to start using that. I'm going to be like, yeah, I ain't got no money. I had to pay my manager this morning. He get 20%. Who's your manager? Me?
But ever since we did that show with paying ourselves first, I've been paying myself first.
You've been paying yourself first?
Yeah, it works out so much better that way.
Okay. Nice. I thought it was great because it's a different approach to money that we're not used to having. You know, we're used to the traditional approach with money.
More, but you make better decisions.
You make better decisions. All right, so the 80-20 rule. If anybody in the audience is familiar with the 80-20 rule, feel free to, call in or text. And our call-in lines are back open. So you can call in at 410-702-5657, 410-702-5657. That's if you want to talk live with Brother Mike and the lovely Miss Janice. All right, so number 12. Identify spending triggers. Each and every one of us has a spending trigger and is going to buy a pint of ice cream, such as going to buy a pint of ice cream after a bad day. Another example is trolling through Instagram late at night and making a snap decision to buy shoes after seeing them and the influence to wear them. In order to save more money, take note of the times you spend on things outside of your normal budget. Ask yourself, what feelings are you having as you buy them? Are you stressed? Are you happy? Are you trying to make your day better? Once you know the feeling behind your spending, you can be more aware of it and redirect it when the feeling bubbles up.
It's so funny because, the book I just read, she said, most of our spending is done behind our feelings. Something triggered it.
Right. Emotional spending. Yeah, I think that happens to all of us because when we buy something, it makes us feel better.
So when you spend and what's your biggest purchase, or when you spend the most, think about how you're feeling when you're doing that, because that's what's triggering.
That's what's triggered it. Right. Perfect. So are you happy? Are you stressed? Are you trying to make your day better? And I know for me personally, it makes me happy. So, if I am having a bad day and I'm able to stop by the mall, get that shirt that I really liked, it does make you feel better. So that would be trigger spending. So that would be very important.
Well, even with Glenda, she said a lot of our bad spending, it comes from, you didn't just establish it overnight. You grew up with it. So it came from somewhere.
Sure.
Even if it came back, from your childhood, growing up from, whoever you was around the most, the way they spent and the way they did things or whatever, you could have easily picked up anybody's spending habits.
We definitely learn spending habits, from family, friends, as well as society. We talked about the Jordans earlier, right? So that's a spending habit that we pick up from each other. You might have no one in your family that wears Air Jordans, but your kid gonna want them because the other kids got them. So we do get influenced by each other with the way we spend. And again, I always use the Jordans as an example. It's not that I have anything against Air Jordans. I have several pairs of them. Right, I got several pairs of them, right? What I'm against is us purchasing them the wrong way. You know what I mean? Standing in lines at 5 in the morning to get a sneaker, using up money that we really didn't have. I mean, it's a very expensive shoe.
They do that?
Oh, yes, they do. They do. So that's what I'm against. And I just think at this point, Michael Jordan should have lowered the price, but, I digress, right? Stephen Marbury tried to get us on the right track with that, with his sneaker back in the day that he had made from the same materials as the Jordans, even in the same factory, and sold it for $20.
Right.
But we associate quality with price. So when black people saw the shoe was only $20, they wouldn't buy it, even though it was the same quality as the Jordan.
Right.
You know what I mean? Made in the same factory with the same people, but he just didn't have that thing, the endowment of saying these are Air Jordans,
That's such a
the retro 5s, right?
such a whole nother show.
Yeah, how about that?
Sure, you could tell us some things on that.
Oh, all day, all day. So spending triggers. For the audience members, if you have any spending triggers, please type it in or call in. Let us know about your spending triggers, because I want to know what more of these triggers could be. Stress, I know stress, happiness, trying to make your day better, so forth and so on.
You know, it all has to deal with emotions. So yes, if you're having a really bad day, especially if you're going through a breakup, I mean, that's a new call all the way.
Right.
So it's going to trigger a call.
Right. What else? Breakups. What could be a normal stressor that would make you stop by the mall or go online and order something?
Just being frustrated over your money. Just not having the money you want to have.
How about having to pay so much of it out to other people?
Paid and then it's all gone. Like
You just feel like I need to get something out of this. I'm buying something. Yeah, that makes sense. Definitely been there and done that.
Yeah, and then another trigger is you watch somebody else spending a lot of money. It could be a close friend of yours. Every time you turn around, they're spending money, and you're wondering, like, I make just as much money as this person. How come I'm not?
Ooh, now that's a good one right there.
Getting this, being able to buy these things. So
Right.
you start going out buying them, and you can't afford them. But you just
And I think what happens is when you look at the other person, like you said, and you work the same job, you know they make the money you make. I don't think we ever consider that they may be spending recklessly. But a lot of times that could be the case. That's why you don't have the money. They don't have it either. There's some reckless spending going on.
Or they could have, or it could just be the opposite. They prepared for that spending. That spending trip that they
Yeah. Could be that. They could be financially savvy.
right. Could have been months of preparing.
Right. They could be financially savvy.
Could be certain things in their budget that you're doing that they're not.
Right. And that's why you shouldn't pay attention to other people.
Right, you can't. 'Cause
That's why you
know
shouldn't.
Exactly what their spending habits are.
No, you don't.
You know what they say about assuming. So cut that out.
Cut that all the way out. So spending triggers, we have to identify them, recognize the feeling, and then we can begin to alter it when that feeling comes up.
Most of the time, the spending triggers come when you're like miserable or depressed or something like that. Most of the time, I don't know, but when you're happy, I don't think you spend as much. You might spend a little less.
Okay. I think the hardest part is going to be when you do spend something to try to recognize what made you do it. That's the hard part, because when you're spending, you are becoming happy. So it's going to be hard to fall back and say, what just made me buy that? What's going on in my life? I needed to do this to make me feel good.
Well, you have to do it because you have to find out.
Yeah, if you want to track your money and be able to eliminate spending triggers, I think you would have to.
Like people that's watching their finances now or do better, like they just didn't do that overnight. They just didn't wake up and be like, oh yeah, today I'm just, turning over a new leaf and I'm gonna do better. Like, no, they had to go back and find out their triggers and what made them spend that way and track their money and go through all of the steps too to get where they are today. You think that's the case for all of them? I don't think somebody just woke up and just said today is going to be the day that they spend wisely now.
No?
No.
Okay. You don't think people have that power in them?
No.
Okay.
I don't think they just wake up and say today is the day I'm spend wisely, and from here and going forward, that's what they do.
Right. You don't believe that's the real deal, huh?
No, I believe after going through the whole 12 step of it, and you wake up one day and you finally there, yes, it happens that way.
Okay. You're not optimistic about people just saying, you know what? It's a new year. It's a new day.
Yeah, I never saved $1 in my life.
I'm chilling.
And I've been recklessly spending forever.
Right.
Today is the day.
Today's the day.
Cease.
You don't believe in that, huh?
No.
All right.
That cease, and I'm a new me.
They need therapy before they can reach that point, huh?
I'm not saying that people haven't said that or done that. But that's a 24-hour. They probably went through it for 24 hours too. And after 24 hours, that was over. Because they was back shopping. Probably the first paycheck they got. They was back in the mall.
It seems like it would be a lifestyle change, just like getting healthy. Getting healthy isn't something that you can just say, you know, I'm just going to go to the gym for the next month or two. You kind of got to have a whole lifestyle change, which ain't easy, and that does take time.
You have to change. A lot of times when you're making changes, you have to change your thought process, your mindset. You have to change a lot of things around you, things in which you've been doing. And like, it's a lifestyle change.
It is a lifestyle change. I think so. All right, so let's move on here. Okay, so we are moving on to number 13. So number 13 is the do a no spending challenge. That's going to be different because that is, you know, that's some social media type stuff right there, right? So it says a no spend challenge is where you decide to only spend money on essentials for a specific amount of time. So people can have a no spend days or no spend months if they're taking part in this challenge. Some people like to use a calendar and put a big X on the days where they don't spend any money. The ideal is to bring awareness to the spending you do on little things. I kind of like this one. We ought to put this one out there on Facebook. The no spending challenge.
No spending challenge.
Is that something that's doable? Now, they didn't say you can't spend any money.
Right.
They said you just spend on the essentials for a specific amount of time.
It's definitely doable.
It's doable?
Absolutely.
I like it.
No spending challenge.
That is definitely a challenge. You know what I mean?
Yes.
The no spending challenge.
I mean, even if you went a week with only spending on the necessities of life, the things that you need for necessity.
I think I could do good with this challenge.
And, you know, certain things that you have, you know, no way of not spending. That could definitely be done.
Yeah, I think I could do this. I think this would be an easy one for me.
You think?
Yeah, I ain't got no money. It's real easy not to spend.
But I thought people with no money was the ones who spent the most money.
Yeah, I wish that was the case with me. I wish I could say I blew it all. Unfortunately, I didn't. But I like this, though, the no spending challenge.
I'm serious. I thought the people that had the least amount of money were the ones that you would see in Vegas or Bahamas or...
Oh, probably.
You know,
right.
The expensive bag. I thought the ones that were broke was the ones that's living their best life versus the ones that wasn't.
I think it's some truth in that.
Do I have it twisted?
I don't necessarily think so, but I think it's truth in that. I think a lot of people who do spend, you know, we are broke. So, yeah, I think it's truth in that.
That's just what I thought. I don't know.
Now, like with the Jordans, that's what we're saying with the Jordans. It's not about that the Jordans are so bad. It's about that we spend money on them and we really can't afford it. You get what I mean? And then the whole thing of having us out there like cattle, 5 in the morning, waiting for some store to open. Like that's, come on, people. You know? Just in, folks, fresh off the press. BXR open house. Come on out and join us Saturday, February 16th, 2019, 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. at Be Exposed Radio's open house. We are located on East Lexington. What's this building number? Is this building 200?
200.
What'd you say, Nate? 200, yeah. So we at 200 East Lexington and Suite 711.
Yes.
We in Suite 711. Come on out on the 16th, open house. Brother Mike will be here along with the lovely Miss Janice, and you can come on and meet everyone else from the other shows. Be Exposed Radio has multiple shows, so you can come meet all the hosts and some of the guests. It'll be a great networking opportunity. Again, this is the Be Exposed Radio open house, February 16th, 2019. That is a Saturday. That is from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Come on out and hang out with us, folks. Come see what this radio life is about. You never know what opportunities await you at Be Exposed Radio and the Black Body Man Radio Show. You may end up being a guest on here. You know, you can come spit your fire. You know, tell us what you think. So yeah, so that's the open house.
Tell us how to save money.
Yes. All right, copy. So yeah, again, that's Saturday, February 16th, 2019, Be Exposed Radio, 1 p.m. to 4 p.m., located at 200 East Lexington, Suite 711. Come on out and hang out with us. Come on out and tell us what you feel about our shows. Meet some great people. Tell us about your donations you want to give to Black Bottom Man and Be Exposed Radio. Donations. All right, so the last one was the no spin challenge.
I liked all of them. They were all good.
I thought they were all good. I thought they were pretty realistic. You know what I mean? Like, I came across some, other saving, ways that were a little more in depth. I didn't think they applied to everyone. Yeah. I wanted it to be that applied to normal people like us who go to work every day.
I do have to
because some of them was like, take your IRA and make sure you roll it over. I was like, yeah, no, we're not doing that one. We're not doing that one. Tell your accountant to make sure that on the 19th. No. We just need normal stuff.
Stuff.
Save $20, right? Save $20.
Write it all down. Like, there was quite a few good ones in there.
It was 13 good ones.
And they work. They really.
I think they're simple.
Once you get serious and you're really serious about saving money, there are a couple that you can definitely take advantage of and use.
So let's recap it for them. So number 1 was build an emergency fund. Number 2 was establish your budget. Number 3 was budget with cash envelopes. Number 4 was save automatically. Number 5 was aim for short-term savings goals. Number 6 was save windfalls and tax refunds. Number 7 was save your loose change. Number 8 was the 24-hour rule. Take time out to think about before you make a move. Number 9 was drink water. Number 10 was set priorities. Number 11 was embrace the 80-20 rule, which was, something fairly new. I really like that one. Number 12 is identify spending triggers. And then number 13 was the no spin challenge.
And I also have to say one more thing about the answer you gave me. Now, earlier when I said, what's the purpose, for all of this saving money? If you think you're doing well and everything, and you have 401s and all of that. What's the purpose of saving all of this money? You said opportunity. I thought that was a great answer, because there have been several opportunities, if you think about in your life, that you've come across, but you just didn't have the means of making it happen at that particular time that you wish you could have.
Absolutely. So, be ready for opportunity. Chance favors the prepared mind. Chance favors the prepared mind. So the more that you are ready for an opportunity, the more opportunities that come. Because sometimes money is what separates people who get the opportunity and those who don't. You get what I mean?
And I always say for the emergency fund, like, you have to have an emergency fund. Like, if you have to be on a plane today, you need to make sure that you're able to do that. Like, if you have to catch a plane out of here today, you need to make sure that you can do that. So that emergency fund is good.
Yeah, you definitely need an emergency fund. The important part for me with the emergency fund was how they noted that you can be low income, but if you got 500 in savings, you're doing better than people in middle class, because they don't have that. They may have a lot of extra toys and stuff, and it's no disrespect to the middle class. It's just them simply pointing out, we all got bigger toys and stuff, but who's got money? You know what I mean? Who's got actual money in the bank? You got actual money in the bank or in your shoebox or your safe or whatever, you could be doing better than everybody else.
Yeah, because, I mean, even with, the billionaires and all of that, they billionaires, but, they don't have the actual cash for that.
Yeah, it's not all tangible, right? It's a lot of numbers on the computer.
Yeah, you have cash.
It's not all tangible.
Like, you have cash money in the emergency fund.
Right. Cash. So I like this show. I hope you guys like this show as well. Nate, how we looking on time? We at the last segment? Last seconds. All right, so we're going to wrap this up. Thanks for tuning in with us today. Come back with us next Monday. Next Monday, we are doing Constructive or Destructive. That's a new segment we include in every month, and we'll go over some things, and you guys can help us decide if it's destructive or constructive. And we thank you for tuning in. Make sure you check out patreon.com/BrotherMikeBBD. We need you guys' help. We need you guys' donations. And make sure you go to blackbytheman.com to get your BBD apparel and merchandise. And again, I'm your host, Brother Mike. I thank you on behalf of my co-host, the lovely Miss Janice. I'll catch you on the flip side. That's the black side. Peace.
9 p.m. every Saturday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Real artists, real talk, real live on BeExposedRadio.com. I was meeting with a friend yesterday, and I've gotten to the point where don't ask me a question because the truth is going to come out. Exactly. Just don't do it.
If you ain't looking for the truth, don't come to me.
Don't do it because I can't hold my tongue. And she wants to be this stylist, boutique, but you're not doing anything in that nature. And I can't take you seriously if you're not doing those things. And I understood